The first Climate Advisory Council was established in the UK in 2008, together with the Climate Change Act in the UK. So the Council plays a very important role in that legal framework around climate. And after that, other countries followed. In Sweden, a council was established 8 years ago. And since the Paris Agreement was launched, actually the number of councils has tripled. And we now have 28 members in our network. Climate councils are mandated by governments as expert advisory bodies, and this is very important and a unique feature. They are not any expert body, but they have that mandate from the government, which means that typically the national governments also need to respond to recommendations for action. So the mandate typically includes advising on new climate targets, or NDCs. It analyzes policy options, and it's part of good governance, really. Often it involves regular progress review, and also it works in an accountable and transparent way, which is very important to have that follow-up mechanism when we set these very long-term climate targets that span over multiple terms in office. Then we need to have these regular checks. Yes, so every national council is a little bit different, adapted to the national context and the needs and the governance culture. We see a difference between whether they are more advisory or they also evaluate climate policy. Another key difference is if they are mainly expert-led, consisting of scientific experts, or they are actually multi-stakeholder councils. So the international network was launched in 2021, and it's very important to support all these 28 and counting councils around the world, exchanging good practices, learning from each other on our role in climate governance, but also amplifying our work internationally. So we think we can see the benefit of having a climate council at the national level or even the subnational level. And we think it can be a global norm for climate governance. So we also have a toolkit to support other countries to establish their own national climate councils. So accountability is quite weak in international climate governance under the Paris Agreement, and that's why it's so important to have these accountability mechanisms at national level, where governments are held accountable to their citizens. And that's where climate councils can come in and do the analysis, do the evaluation, but also give expert-based, science-based recommendations for action. So these councils, more than providing just public policy advice, they also contribute often to investor certainty, providing a long-term vision, continuity, and also can help point out the economic opportunities of climate transition, not just the risks to be managed. So multi-stakeholder engagement is very important to make climate policy successful, impactful, sustainable. The councils do this in different ways. Some councils are composed by stakeholder representatives. Others, like the Swedish one, we have dialogue meetings in a systematic way to listen in and have these sounding boards from business, from civil society, local government, etc. This is an interesting question. I can see a number of areas where you could have a similar council and mechanism to ensure that national level accountability, presumably health. In Sweden, our climate council was actually modeled on our fiscal policy council, which ensures fiscal sustainability in government policy.